So I finished the Black Eye remix featuring Lady Alma, amazing vocal, and I wanted to use it as a demonstration, the vocal this is, of a particular technique that is really interesting, a great sound design technique for creating a really interesting, sustained and kind of lush, thick, kind of choir, futuristic kind of texture. It can become so many things you're going to find out as we progress through the video. So look, here's the vocal. Just a real dry performance, sounding really good. And what I'm going to do is, first step here, you can do this on other DAWs as well. Ableton, for example, has a reverb that will do a very similar thing. And what it is, if I take the reverb time up, diffusion up, and size up, so we're creating a really expansive reverb here, is to basically freeze the reverb tail, so hold signal forever. And look what happens when I push this, right? So it's going to sound rubbish to start off with. Always hustling, gotta keep it moving. Right, you hear that reverb tail? Now that's actually because the hold button is on. Now, in order for us to get a totally effective signal, I need to come over here and click on the wet only. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on a little journey now. I'm going to trigger that hold every now and again. All right, so look, here we go. So you can hear that real nice, lush texture, and on and off, just discover new sections. Now I need to open up the highs here, so let's just do that. It's got a nice bright texture now. Amazing. I mean, for remixing, this is an amazing technique. But for general sound design, it's great too. So what I need to do is to bounce that out with some automation applied. So we're going to automate this. Going to right click, come down to show hold automation track. I can take the effect away now, and this is here. All I need to do is to push the R to read the automation and just create a couple of nodes here. So you can see, if I zoom in, that this is where the automation is going to bring. The snap is off, so I can adjust this anywhere that I want. So let's maybe try it just over here. Now that's actually a good starting point. If I want to stop, just make sure you come before the automation, otherwise it's going to keep going. And what I'm going to do is set a left locator just before, and I'm going to get this running for about 2 minutes or so. Let's take this up here. You can see I've got my ruler track at the top, so it's a nice guide in terms of time. And I'm going to export that out, and I'm going to do it I'm going to render it now and then come back on the other side so you don't have to get bored watching that progress meter. So look, this is what we've got, and I'm going to solo that. Any point, it's going to be this beautiful, lush, thick, infinite sustain there. And what I want to do is create another one. So that's going to be the first one. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to render this for you because there was a little bit of a parameter setting that I need to actually demonstrate to you. So I've just reduced the vertical height, and let me get in there and move this around. Right, let's take it a bit later. I'm going to mute the choir that I bounced. Now that sounded good. Some kind of S and high frequency textures on there. Let me just take it before. Really interesting. And let's bounce this out. So let me show you what I did. Was to go to File, Export, Audio Mixed Out. So this is going to render it. This is choir 2. And the important bits, basically we want to do to the pool, to the audio track. So it's going to import into the project folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close the window after export and update the display. Click Export. Here we go. So it's going to render it out, and it's going to give me a new audio file based on that automation from that point onwards with that hold button being pushed on. So it's going to create another texture, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce out a selection, maybe 5 or 6 of these, and what it's going to do is it's going to give me a selection. Now if I solo this, that's that one. Let's hear the other one, and let's also mute the original one for the moment. Let's pick up the automation, move it later. Let me try and find something really good. It's solo here. I like it. Right, so automation starting point. Let me just take the left locator, move this over. Okay, let me just use a cursor key, a function key here to do that because it wasn't behaving, didn't want me to pick it up because I was zoomed out too far. And let's extend the right point here. Come on, it's playing up. Let me just take that out. And right, so solo, let's find Let's see, I think that was a 1. Yeah, alright. Just before. So, you can see how you got to pay attention. It's been a long day for me again, so it's not the smoothest of videos, but it's cool, you get the picture. So let's just bounce this out, choir 3. Let's get that exported as well. So, you know, this is the whole process. You render out lots of different versions. The automation at different points where it's turning on that hold for the infinite reverb effect. And, you know, it's an amazing texture. And what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use some fading to get a gradual introduction of these textures. Maybe I'll pan them differently as well. I don't know yet. So I'm pretty much going to put these all at different, well, pretty much similar starting points. Let me take that off and change the starting point. Maybe do something over here. Let me have a listen. I think maybe I've got a setting where the left locator is being placed wherever I click in the ruler. So I need to investigate that. But anyway, look, so there's the starting point, and let's have a listen. Let me reference the others for a second. I don't want to be doubling up in too many similar sounds. Okay, what I want to do is try and find something with a bit more of a kind of low tone to it. I said low, I'm actually feeling that now. Let me take that just before. Such an amazing texture. It's a really nice reverb for that, the room works. And let's take this out once again, soloing that original track, choir 4. Let's get this bounced out. And remember, with this kind of texture, you know, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can maybe go up and chop it afterwards, maybe run them through, all of them together through a bus, sidechain that with a kick drum or something, like a pulsing kind of choir thing going on. And remember also to run complete tunes through it. I've done that. It can come out really amazing. Just all those musical elements fused together and then hitting that reverb, creating this long stretch tail. It can sound really, really good. Now, I can't actually see that one in there. I wonder what happened there. So I'm going to drag in the fourth one from the pool. So that's Command plus P to get the pool. And I think this is going to be enough for the moment. Let me mute the original track. And let's start doing something with these. Let's bring this back. In fact, what I could do is select all these, push P. So that's the left and right locators around them. And let me see which one I'm going to start with. Maybe here. Let's take it to the point just after the automation. And let me just undo that. I had them all selected, so let's do that here. Let's find this one, bring this over here, this over here, and this over here. Once again, line them up. And you know, just for speed, let me just grab the handle here. Let's fade this up. Let's bring this one over here, fade this up as well. So we're going to get like this gradually evolving, right, I didn't mean to double click on there, a gradually evolving thick, lush kind of affected choir that was created from a single vocal, you know, this a cappella to start off with. So these are fades coming up. It's going to create a nice blend. I'm going to get a real thick vocal effect on there. And I need to watch the mixer because the levels might be really loud. Let's just have a look. So let's see if we can see that happening. Yep. Wow. Just going to balance these a little bit. You know what, that reminds me of Stanley Kubrick, 2001 A Space Odyssey. I've ramped those up too short, haven't I? So let me just select this. Let's pick up these handles. Let's stretch them out. So we're going to get a really long, ambient, evolving masterpiece. Let's do this. That's going to be really sinister. It's going to kind of evolve out on the other side as well. There's so much flexibility. Maybe I should have rendered these longer. That would have been interesting. So look, we're going to go on this journey now. So let's have a listen. We'll start off with the first choir. So yeah, we definitely got that Kubrick vibe. A real sinister texture. And some of this is going to be stuff that maybe is slightly out musically, which is creating a tension. And that's because when the singer was singing, at the kind of microsecond when I froze the signal, it may have been like a bend or a twist in the notes. You never know. So this is sounding really, really sinister. I'll tell you what, I need to bring this one in a little bit earlier. Can you feel that coming in there? And this one here. So we've got the second choir coming in. It's real dark, kind of ambient texture. For breakdowns, for build-ups, all this kind of stuff's great. And you've created the sound from scratch using this particular sound design technique. That's what's great about it. It's not a library sound that you've loaded up. You're literally getting in there, getting full control. If you're making horror film soundtracks, absolutely spot on. Wow. Always gets me, this thing. This effect always gets me. Amazing. So let's check the levels. We don't want to be clipping. Really, really love that texture. It's going to start evolving out now. So the earlier one. Let me just bring this earlier. So the first one's fading down in volume. The second one will do that soon. We've got the third one coming to maximum level now. Imagine that sidechain duct from a kick drum pulsing away. I'll tell you how that would sound just as a quick fix. So, oh man, there's so much scope when you consider all the other things that you could do with Cubase, you know, the processing, the options, filtering that sound. You know, do you know what? I can't resist it. I'm going to have to get in there, right? I'm going to select all of these, set up a group channel track. Let me just get this going. I've just remembered what I'm supposed to do. Add group channel, right? So this is a stereo track. I'm going to do the routing for all of these. So what I've got is this, the group. I'm going to say here, all Vox, and let's solo this. You know, the routing, we can do this over here. So I can drop this down. I'm going to say here. And you can see here that each of these choirs being routed to the all Vox. So what I'm going to do is select the all Vox, come down, inserts. Let's get the filter, dual filter. To the left is the low pass, to the right is a high pass. So we can start thin. So you could play around with it. Bit of resonance. I mean that. Maybe a bit of delay as well. Let's get in there. So we'll do ping pong delay. Let's take the speed a bit faster. Man, there's so much potential. So anyway, just a quick recap. What I did was to set up a vocal, added an insert effect, the reverb, went for the wet signal all the way. And then what I did was I automated turning on the hold button to create that long infinite space. And you've got to bounce it out. That's the best way to do it. At different points like I did. And experiment, see what comes out. Amazing technique. I've used it on a lot of different tunes over the years. As I said, I can't remember, I think I mentioned, it's great for remixes as well. So if you're doing a remix, they can provide a vocal for you. You can get so many kind of important sounds for your remix by using this technique. Just spend maybe half a day doing it. Experiment and see what comes up. All right, have fun with it.